Hey everyone, we just wrapped up the last day of the show. Great couple of days. Thanks for coming. It was great seeing everyone. Lee is going to give us a little bit of a wrap up of the impressions that you had from the show.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And then, like she said, thank you everybody for all the interaction, the engagement. It's kind of interesting with the evolution that we've seen in this space, not only this space, but like our organization and its engagement with everybody. And it's pretty awesome to see. You can feel a sense of community throughout this entire thing. So I wrote in the last brief, 95, I think it was, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of writing. You can imagine the amount of talking that gets done.
A lot.
We do, yeah, a lot of. So in the last 95, I tried to give like some impressions of what I thought was going to happen, and it's kind of interesting to see. Some of the stuff was there, some things that are unknown, of course, some things that maybe aren't there yet, but I kind of wanted to just have a little bit of a discussion on things that we saw and take the opportunity to be here to do it. And the first one that I didn't necessarily know the timing was going to work out, but definitely today with all the tariff talks that happened. But even more on that was we had this idea that you were going to see companies from outside North America show up on how they interact with North America. So I saw a lot of like whatever origin country they're from with an American flag and the rest. And it'll be interesting to see as we go into the security event in like 48 hours.
Yep.
If that stays true, the changes that we think will happen there. So the tariffs are definitely a conversation. Something with the show floor that I don't think I wrote about this, but it definitely was glaring, is that the booths are far more interactive than they ever have been before.
Yeah, there was a lot going on.
Yeah, so like gone are the days of like flat walls with product. Now there's still plenty of it there, but we saw these structures where there was interactions. For instance, one company was Acre that had one that you kind of weave through it and you got to an experience at the end. The other one was Bricata, which they did escape rooms. They had like 6 or 4 or whatever the numbers were, but it was a great way to interact with the product. And I mean, we talked about it. We think that that's going to be sort of the norm going forward. The investment that's going into the booths is kind of crazy. They're higher, more interactive. There's stuff hanging from the ceilings. And
Actual activations within the booth
yeah,
instead of just product hanging on the wall.
which I think is great because it's really turning into storytelling. The other thing that definitely is happening is this. We thought this would be the first digital show, if you would. And what we meant by that was the offline presence was going to be impacted by the online presence. Where before the online presence was like, you take a photo of the booth, you put it on, not a lot of impact in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
We called it sugar, not as much protein, if you would, in that. But now the level of people taking video, creating on the show floor, interacting with the space, actually even leading into it. My favorite one that I like to highlight is Pelco, did a really nice job.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I actually got to meet a couple of the guys that were behind that and doing it. But that matters. So this sort of omni-channel approach, the amount of content that's going to come out of the show online, this show will now live on for weeks.
Months.
Yeah, months. Yeah, ours will at least.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that works. The other thing is AI. So what I've noticed, we did the AI Discovery Zone, and this AI Discovery Zone, my biggest takeaway, it's enterprise software. The same things that we saw around cybersecurity and the impacts, those conversations are now happening where I believe what is no longer, like soon, this AI discovery side is going to show up on the show floor. Right? And maybe this turns into the robotic discovery zone. I don't know. Hopefully we'll find out soon what happens here, but AI is definitely about enterprise software the same way it was about cybersecurity. And the 10 companies talked about it. Great interaction.
Oh yeah.
Place was packed sort of throughout the show, so that's great. One that we talked about was all of a sudden, Integrators have booths within the show. Now, there's always been some, but Allied, MC Dean was there. Like, that never really happened because it was not really an end user show, right? This was more about integrators came to the show. And now what you have is you have end users, you've got integrators, you got everybody who is participating in this, and like, it's real. So this is now, it's a big show.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, and I think that's a trend that I think we'll start to see even more integrators that are here. And I think it's a good thing. I think it's a collection of what's happening in the industry. Last two that we have, platform was definitely all over the place. So you saw platform, apps being built, the rest of it. So that, I'm happy to say that happened. Now the value creation that's gonna come from it, I think that's the next thing. And lastly, we wanna thank the team at Amazon Key. So they took a flyer on us to help put together, we'll call it the first influencer event focus that happened. We had like 15 influencers that went to a breakfast. We had 40 people show up, creating content, interacting with them. They really took advantage of what was put together there, and definitely check out what they're doing. They showcased for those influencers early access to products and let them take it out to the marketplace and tell stories. And I think it's a kudos to Amazon Key and the way they're approaching this marketplace.
Yeah, trying something new, trying something different.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Yeah. So, well, Hillary, it's our I don't know what number of ISC West this is for us at this point.
10.
But yeah, but 10.
12.
But yeah, I know it's a lot. But they continue to get better, and again, we appreciate the community's engagement. We appreciate the opportunity to do this. We'll see everybody at the security event. Then we have our own show, ACS.
End of May.
End of May, and San Sebastian's gonna be awesome. 170 people coming, a lot of interactions, and we're just gonna keep this train going. So, thank you. Thanks, Natalie.
Thank you.
Thank me.
Natalie.
Thank you. There you go. Thank the team too that's behind this. Alex and team and Jimmy, thank you guys very much. This has been great. So thank you, RX. Thank you, Sia.
Yep.
And we'll see you at the next one.
See you guys soon.
Bye.